The Tertiary period marks the beginning of the Cenozoic era. It began 65 million years ago and lasted more than 63 million years, until 1.8 million years ago. Tertiary period is made up of 5 epochs. The Paleocene epoch from 65 to 55 million years ago, the Eocene epoch from 54 to 38 million years ago, the Oligocene epoch from 38 to 24 million years ago, the Miocene epoch from 24 to 5 million years ago, and the Pliocene epoch from 5 to 1.8 million years ago. Each epoch has unique characteristics for climate and geography. The plants and animals change from epoch to epoch also.
The beginning of this period was very warm and moist compared to today's climate. Much of the earth was tropical or subtropical. Palm trees grew as far north as Greenland. By the middle of the Tertiary, during the Oligocene epoch, the climate began to cool. This cooling trend continued, and by the Pliocene epoch, an ice age had begun. The plants of the Tertiary are very similar to the plants that we have today. The warm climate at the beginning of the period favored dense forests. As the beginning cooled, open woodlands and grasslands became abundant. The grasses were important because they supported huge amounts of grazing animals.
The insect population increased in the Tertiary period. Bees and other insects that live on the pollen and nectar of the flowering plants prospered. The extinction event at the close of the Cretaceous period wiped out the dinosaurs, large reptiles, and many other species. This left room for new animals to develop. The mammals became the dominant animals. In fact, the Cenozoic era is often called the Age of Mammals. Most of the main groups of mammals were presented by the Eocene epoch. With the dinosaurs and other large reptile genus, mammals grew in size, number, and diversity.
During the Pliocene, the first hominids appeared. These were our human ancestors. These species branched out during the Tertiary period. Sharks became more plentiful. The cooling climate of the Tertiary period led to huge glaciers at the poles. The mountains of the world were also covered by glaciers, including the newly formed Himalayas and Alps. The Quaternary period began with the Pleistocene epoch 1.8 million years ago. This period ended 11,000 years ago. Later became the Holocene epoch, starting 11,000 years ago until nowadays. Most of them are species we found nowadays. They had to survive to cold temperatures and glaciation of some continents. Some of them adapted in a good way in the early Pleistocene epoch. Others, like mammoth or reindeer, developed a thick fur to help them to survive to low temperatures. About 10,000 years ago, the climate began to warm, and most of this so-called megafauna went extinct. Another species tried to migrate to places with higher temperatures. In total, there were 60 periods of glacial expansion with intervals of warm temperatures. Whales and sharks have ruled the seas, topping a food chain with seals, fish, squids, and microscopic plankton filling in the descending rocks. In the period stand out giant mammals like bison, mammoth, deer, tiger, bear. They fed on small shrubs and grasses that grew. Animals and plant life haven't evolved much. A number of large animals, including mammoths, mastodons, giant sloths, disappeared in the late Pleistocene epoch.
The earliest hominid fossils found so far was from the late Cenozoic period, found in Africa. As time passed, they spread out throughout the world. Hominids are classified in order to some characteristics that appeared while they were evolving. The first hominid is the Australopithecus. The second one is the Homo habilis. The third one is the Homo erectus. Then the Homo neanderthalensis. And finally, the Homo sapiens sapiens. As time passed, hominids evolved with bigger brains, which means that they had a higher intelligence. Studies link the disappearance of the big mammals with the arrival of humans and their hunting ways. Climate conditions required a diet heavy in animal proteins, so they were hunters. They also cooked and ate plant materials. We are therefore related to these other living primates, but we didn't descend from them. Modern humans differ from hominids in many significant ways. Human brains are larger and more complex. People have elaborated forms of communication and culture, and they usually walk upright, can manipulate very small objects, and can speak. Without the dinosaurs, plant life had an opportunity to flourish. During the early part of the era, forests appeared in North America. However, as the climate cooled down, forests died, creating open lands. Grasses began to spread out over the plains of North America and savannas covered land in the middle of the continent.